Two elite warriors from opposite corners of the globe are on a collision course. Poatan Pereira, the Brazilian knockout artist renowned for his devastating leg kicks, faces Magomed Ankalaev, the Chechen powerhouse who defies stereotypes with his exceptional striking skills. Their paths converge at UFC 313 on March 8, 2025, promising a showdown for the ages. Welcome to MMA Thread. If you love high-stakes fights, knockout power, and intense rivalries, you're in the right place. This is the fight everyone has been waiting for. Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Two elite strikers, one octagon, and only one will walk away victorious. Who has the edge? Who will dominate? And most importantly, who gets their hand raised? Before we dive deep into this epic showdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown of the biggest fights in MMA. Let's get into it. The genesis of a rivalry. The seeds of this high-stakes encounter were sown long before the official fight announcement. Magomed Ankalaev had been vocal for months, making it clear that he wanted a shot at Pereira. In multiple interviews, he criticized Pereira's title reign, questioning the matchmaking decisions that led to his rapid rise. Ankalaev, known for his calculated and disciplined approach inside the octagon, claimed that Pereira was being strategically protected from fighters like him, men who could expose his weaknesses. But it didn't stop there. Ankalaev took things a step further, accusing Pereira of actively avoiding the fight. He suggested that the Brazilian's striking heavy style, while entertaining, had serious gaps that would be easily exploited by someone with a more well-rounded skill set. According to Ankalaev, this was the real reason the fight hadn't happened sooner, because Pereira's team knew the risks. Pereira, never one to back down, quickly fired back. He dismissed Ankalaev's accusations, calling them baseless and fueled by frustration. He asserted that it was never his job to pick opponents, and if Ankalaev had a problem, he should take it up with the UFC. Pereira also didn't hold back on his opinion of Ankalaev's fighting style, calling it methodical and unexciting compared to his own highlight reel knockouts. This war of words escalated, drawing in fans from both sides, each debating who truly had the upper hand. Was Ankalaev right? Was Pereira being carefully matched to avoid grappling heavy fighters? Or was Pereira simply the dominant force he appeared to be, ready to take on all challengers? One thing became clear. This wasn't just another fight. This was a collision of styles, mindsets, and legacies. Two elite fighters determined to prove the other wrong. And now, with the fight finally set, the time for talking is over. The octagon will be the ultimate judge of who is right and who will be left standing. Poatan Pereira, the Brazilian powerhouse. Pereira isn't just a striker, he's a force of nature. A former kickboxing world champion turned UFC knockout artist, Pereira has stormed through the MMA world with devastating efficiency, proving time and time again that his power is something out of a nightmare. His left hook, a one-shot weapon that has put elite fighters to sleep in an instant. His leg kicks, like being hit with a sledgehammer, systematically chopping down opponents and forcing them into positions where they're completely vulnerable. Fighters like Israel Adesanya and Yuri Prochaska have felt the full force of Pereira's brutal precision, and he's only getting better. What makes him even more terrifying is that he doesn't just rely on power. His striking is calculated, technical, and backed by years of championship-level kickboxing experience. Every shot he throws has a purpose, and when he lands, it's almost always with bad intentions. He controls distance masterfully, picks his moments with sniper-like accuracy, and forces his opponents to either engage in a dangerous stand-up battle or desperately look for a way out. And through it all, Pereira never loses his composure. His ice-cold mentality means he never panics, never rushes, and never second-guesses his ability to end the fight at any moment. Whether it's a quick knockout or a slow, punishing breakdown, when Pereira steps into the octagon, one thing is certain. Someone is going to feel his power. Magomed Ankalaev, the Dagestani striking machine. Magomed Ankalaev is not your typical Dagestani wrestler. He's a calculated, lethal striker who has built his name on precision, power, and an unpredictable fighting style. Trained in combat sambo, he seamlessly blends striking and grappling, making him one of the most well-rounded threats in the division. His technical kickboxing allows him to dictate the pace, picking opponents apart with sharp counter-striking and elite distance control. But don't mistake him for just a stand-up fighter. When needed, he can mix and take downs effortlessly, keeping his opponents guessing at all times. Ankalaev has already dismantled some of the division's toughest names, proving that he's not just another grappler. He's a legitimate knockout threat. His precision striking makes him deadly in exchanges, and his ability to pace himself for 5-round wars means he never fades. Add in his dangerous power in both hands, and it's clear why he's considered one of the most complete fighters in the UFC today. With these strengths, we're looking at an explosive showdown at UFC 313. Pereira's raw, fight-ending power versus Ankalaev's calculated, technical aggression. Will Pereira find that one-shot knockout? Or will Ankalaev outsmart him and impose his game plan? The fight world is on edge, and when these two step into the octagon, expect absolute fireworks. A striking chess match or a firefight. How this war could play out. This fight has all the ingredients to be an explosive, high-paced striking war. With both Pereira and Ankalaev favoring stand-up battles, we can expect intense exchanges right from the opening round. Pereira, known for his devastating leg kicks and fight-ending knockout power, will likely start by attacking Ankalaev's lead leg, trying to slow down his movement and set up his signature left hook. If he can compromise Ankalaev's mobility early, it will open up more opportunities for him to land his lethal combinations. However, Ankalaev is not just any striker. His counterpunching, defensive awareness, and ability to control distance are second to none. While Pereira thrives in aggressive exchanges, Ankalaev's precision and patience allow him to pick his shots with surgical accuracy. He may look to frustrate Pereira by staying just outside of his striking range, utilizing feints and lateral movement to force Pereira into mistakes. Unlike Pereira, who is always hunting for a knockout, Ankalaev is more methodical, waiting for the perfect opportunity to capitalize on an opponent's aggression. One key factor in this fight will be Ankalaev's ability to mix in wrestling threats. While he doesn't rely on grappling as heavily as some of his Dagestani counterparts, his combat sambo background gives him the tools to drag the fight to the mat if needed. Even the constant threat of a takedown could force Pereira to hesitate, disrupting his offensive rhythm. If the fight extends into the later rounds, conditioning and strategy will play a huge role. Pereira's power is terrifying in the early rounds, but his endurance has been tested before. Ankalaev, on the other hand, has shown excellent cardio in drawn-out fights. If he survives Pereira's early storm, he might start to take over with a more measured approach, chipping away at Pereira with counters and potentially looking for controlled time if he chooses to grapple. But let's be real, this fight could end in the blink of an eye. Both men possess one-shot knockout power, and neither will back down from a firefight. The real question is, will Pereira's relentless pressure and raw power overwhelm Ankalaev? Or will Ankalaev's technical precision and well-rounded skill set neutralize Pereira's striking? One thing is certain, when these two warriors step into the octagon at UFC 313, fight fans will be on the edge of their seats, watching what could very well be a fight of the year contender. The storm is brewing, a fight that will shake the MMA world. As the days count down to UFC 313, the anticipation surrounding this fight continues to build like a storm on the horizon. This isn't just another main event, it's a moment in history, a collision course between two of the most dangerous strikers in the world, finally standing across from each other inside the octagon. The tension has been mounting for months, with fight fans dissecting every possible outcome, debating who will impose their will, who will land first, and ultimately, who will have their hand raised in victory. But this fight isn't just about the belt or rankings, it's about something far greater. It's about legacy. It's about the clash of styles, the pride of nations, and the raw hunger to be the best. Alex Pereira, the warrior from Brazil, represents an era of pure striking dominance, carrying the hopes of his fans who believe in his devastating knockout power. With every fight, he walks into the cage like a gladiator, knowing that one clean shot from his legendary left hook could be the final chapter in his opponent's story. On the other side stands Magomed Ankalaev, the Dagestani powerhouse, a man whose name has long been associated with technical precision and cold-blooded efficiency. He seeks to prove that his well-rounded skill set is more than enough to dismantle the striking juggernaut in front of him. This is a fight that goes beyond mere competition. It's about proving who belongs at the very top. What makes this fight even more electrifying is the sheer unpredictability of it all. Will Pereira come out aggressively, looking to end it early with his signature power shots? Will Ankalaev play the long game, utilizing his footwork, counter-striking, and wrestling to systematically break down the Brazilian? Could we witness a shocking upset, a highlight reel knockout, or an all-out 5-round war that will leave both men bloodied, exhausted, and forever etched in MMA history? No matter how it unfolds, one thing is for certain. When the cage door closes, the world will be watching. UFC 313 isn't just another fight card. It's a spectacle, a night where the landscape of the light heavyweight division will shift. The energy is electric, the stakes are massive, and when these two warriors step into the octagon, time itself will seem to pause. Every feint, every strike, every moment will carry the weight of thousands of training hours and millions of fans watching around the globe. So, who do you have winning this war? Will it be Pereira, the ruthless knockout artist, or Ankalaev, the master technician? Drop your predictions in the comments and let the debate begin. One thing's for sure, on March 8th, history will be made inside the octagon. Don't blink, because this is the kind of fight that defines an era.